The start of this clip, nothing seems unusual as two men in their parked car appear to be observing something in the bushes up ahead. Eventually, a motorbike can be seen driving past them when this happens. Completely shocked by what they've just witnessed, they keep an eye out just in case the tiger decides to come back, but it thankfully never does, and they simply stop recording. This next clip starts off intensely by showing a group of people in an open vehicle recording an aggressive tiger following them. When the predator starts to get too close for comfort, the driver begins to speed up, leading to this intense chase sequence. Despite their large size, tigers are surprisingly agile, allowing this particular predator to keep up with the moving vehicle. Unfortunately, the clip cuts abruptly, leaving what happened next a mystery. This intense clip picks up right as these brave men attempt to scare a nearby tiger away from their village. Unfortunately, the situation escalates rather quickly. Luckily for them, the predator decides to spare the men at the very last second and ends up leaving the area completely. In Jim Corbett National Park, a few tourists witnessed a tiger come face to face with an elephant, and the outcome is horrifying. The video initially starts off with a view of both the elephant riders and the tiger intensely staring each other down. Meanwhile, the tourists continue to photograph the event as things seem rather calm at first. After a few minutes, though, things take a shocking turn. With the huge elephant bravely holding its ground, the predator luckily decides to give up and head back into the bushes. In the vast forests of Nepal, a man was trotting his path on an elephant when a wild beast surprised him from out of nowhere. For a couple of minutes, the jungle appears empty, with no sign of danger. However, 2 minutes into this video, a tiger can be seen suddenly appearing in the distance, which the man bravely decides to start following around. After chasing the animal for a few minutes, the videographer spots it amidst the jungle yet again. This time, though, it clearly acknowledges his presence as it can be seen staring him down. A few moments later, the beast decides that enough is enough and immediately asserts its dominance by growling and charging towards the cameraman. By the end, the man thankfully decides to leave the territorial predator alone and go on with his expedition somewhere else. At a national park in Nepal, a few men driving down the road unexpectedly came across a rather large tiger that didn't seem so happy about having visitors. Initially, they decide to pull over after spotting the animal walking across the road up ahead.
Of course, you can't really see it, but it is a big male Bengal tiger.
Contrary to what most would do, the men end up driving up towards the animal in hopes of getting a closer look.
Oh my god, he is beautiful. He's looking behind. He looks very pissed off. We're leaving. The tiger was pissed off.
As the tiger disappears back into the forest, they grab this opportunity to drive away while they still can. In Corbett National Park, a group of friends had their calming expedition turn into a legitimately dangerous situation when a female tiger decided to closely follow them around. In the beginning, the camera immediately starts recording when they notice the predator walking right towards their vehicle from the road up ahead. For the following minutes, the tourists continue to do their best at maintaining a safe distance from the tiger as it keeps walking in their direction. At some point, a second car full of tourists decides to join the scene and get a closer look of the predator, but they very quickly regret their decision. Eventually, though, the tiger comes to realize that it won't be able to reach them anytime soon and simply decides to walk off back into the wilderness. At Ranthambore National Park, a group of friends' average safari drive quickly turned into a nightmare when they were horrifyingly chased by a hungry tiger. At first, they began recording after spotting movement in the bushes up ahead.
Oh my god, he's up. Oh my god, he's gonna jump on us.
Now in serious fear, the tourists continue driving down the road in hopes of being left alone, but the vicious tiger unfortunately has other plans. Not trying to risk their safety any longer, they thankfully decide to drive at full speed away from the area altogether. A tourist exploring the Mutanga forest in Kerala encounters the surprise of his life when a wild tiger crosses his path. The video starts off with a bright flashlight shining right into the dark woods where a lone tiger is seen casually wandering around. Shocked by what he is seeing, the cameraman then proceeds to follow the tiger around with the vehicle, seemingly not worrying about the potential dangers of doing so. Despite the humans making their presence known, the beast miraculously doesn't appear to care much and just continues walking like normal. After a few minutes, though, the tourists eventually lose sight of the animal as it disappears through some thick bushes. A few people encountered a furious tiger in Jim Corbett Park, and what happened next is absolutely wild. The video begins with the videographer capturing a zoomed-in shot of a tiger that can be seen sitting behind some trees. Moments go by as the men continue to bravely observe the predator from up close. Unfortunately, things don't remain so peaceful for much longer. The furious tiger charged toward the jeep and came a little too close for comfort. However, by the end, the beast can be seen walking away towards the woods. On a rural road in India, a few innocent civilians were unlucky enough to come way too close to a fearless tiger trying to mind its own business. Originally, they quickly begin recording after spotting the animal walking out of the bushes just a few feet away. With everyone there absolutely frozen in fear, the predator begins calmly walking alongside the dirt road towards another group of terrified civilians.
It's here, it's coming.
After a few minutes, the tiger reveals itself once again and decides to go get a closer look of the cars up ahead.
Bus, bhaiya, bus, bhaiya. Shh, keep quiet.
Oh, it's getting irritated.
It wants to cross you.
With the predator still lurking nearby, they unfortunately stop recording, and what happens next remains unknown. This chilling clip picks up right as this territorial tiger attacks an innocent man on an elephant ride. After its failed charge, the beast seemingly gives up and starts walking away when it suddenly changes its mind. With the predator still standing there, the camera stops rolling, and what happens next remains a mystery. On an Indian wildlife safari, a group of friends had their relaxing expedition turn into a truly dangerous situation when they decided to closely follow an innocent tiger. In the beginning, things pick up rather quickly when they notice the predator walking right towards their car.
बस भैया बस तुम मत तू तो हर एक के पीछे
जब कह रहा है समझ ही नहीं रहा.
Trying to mind its own business, the animal simply passes them up and continues walking up the road when the tourists suddenly decide to go after it.
तेरी नौकरी जाएगी तो मैं बता रहा हूँ भगा मत उसको चलो थोड़ा बैक लो.
The clip then jumps to a later moment where the group appears to be still following the tiger around the safari. Eventually, though, they come to realize that the predator seems to be, unfortunately, heading towards them once again.
What sighting यार. आगे ले इधर से ले शाबाश इधर से ले आगे ले. Right ले इधर ले.
Luckily, the animal simply walks by as if nothing is happening, and the tourists finally decide to move on. Shot at Jim Corbett National Park, this video captures a violent tiger chasing and trying to attack an innocent group of tourists. In the beginning, the wild animal is seen calmly walking towards the tourists, who grab this opportunity to take multiple photographs, making their presence known.
क्या कर रहा है यार अगले
The predator is then observed trying to walk away, but the bystanders in the jeep continue to instigate it. What happens next is truly terrifying. Luckily, the tourists were quick to drive away and give the animal the space it wanted, allowing it to finally walk back into the jungle completely. Ranthambore National Park. A group of tourists had their day take a rather sharp turn when they came across a male tiger just trying to mind its own business. The clip starts off as they pull out their cameras after spotting the predator walking out of the forest up ahead.
That's much bigger.
He's marked.
With everyone on board completely speechless by what they are seeing, the animal calmly makes its way toward a nearby stream where it drinks water and bathes for a few minutes. Unfortunately, it eventually decides to start walking up towards the road where the horrified tourists are located. With the tourists in the car up ahead now seriously worried for their safety, the tiger luckily decides to walk back down into the forest. At the start of the video, we see the man looking into the seemingly empty tiger cage in a national park in Bengaluru, India. These tourists felt rather happy after noticing a tiger approaching their car when things suddenly took a very unexpected turn.
भाई
सर खिड़की उठाइए प्लीज
ऐसे आने दो.
Oh my God, it's coming.
It's coming.
No, don't.
Wanting to make the most of the situation, they end up stopping their car to hopefully take more pictures when the vicious tiger unfortunately has other plans.
It's coming. He's looking at.
It's coming, right?
Yeah. Saida. Fun.
Feeling like they've seen enough, they finally decide to leave the tiger alone and move on with their expedition altogether. In Bandipur National Park, a few tourists on a safari tour were left stunned when they came way too close to a fearless male tiger. Initially, things pick up right as the tour guides notice the animal up ahead and immediately drive towards it to allow the visitors to see it from closer. Surprisingly, everyone is left shook as the lethal predator is seen carelessly beginning to walk right past their cars.
Please silence.
In the end, the unbothered tiger crosses the road completely and goes on minding its own business towards the other side of the park. A wildlife sanctuary, a group of tourists had their day take a very sharp turn when their car got dangerously approached by a rather curious tiger. Originally, they pull out their cameras after noticing the predator coming out of the forest to their right. With their car still thankfully intact, the horrified tourists remain frozen in fear as the tiger now begins circling around them. Luckily for them, the tiger decides to walk up the road to investigate the other cars when the man filming suddenly spots something behind him.
बंद करा ना थोड्या वेळ
Thankfully, both predators seem to have moved along, and the tourists eventually decide to stop recording completely. Tigers eventually decides that it has had enough and proceeds to walk away.